generally provided, you can say the new leaves likely to be extract, pull this nitrogen for their own growth. Hello everyone, I am Sanjeev Kumar, Faculty of Agriculture and Geography at Plutus IS. Today I bring another important topic related to nutrient management. If there is deficiency of organic content, organic matter inside your soil, if there is deficiency of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, calcium, what kind of symptoms all these plants, their leaves, different other parts likely to be express, means without help of an expert, how you can identify that what kind of deficiency existed inside your soil, what kind of fertilizers you immediately require to fulfill the deficiency that caused by micronutrient or macronutrient inside your soil. So we are going to explore it. First, let's have a look over the organic matter. What are the source of organic content? Organic matter. What kind of role it likely to play within the soil, and further, how this organic matter modify, influence the physical, chemical, biological properties of the soil. So, soil organic matter. Soil organic matter refers to soil organic content, which generally derived from remains of plants, animals, or other living entity. Means generally soil organic matter get accumulated over topmost layer of the soil. The topmost organic layer represented by O layer consists of organic soil content. Now, this organic soil content can be transformed into humus by microbacterial activities. Means there are various kind of bacteria, fungi, which can transform it into inorganic nutrients which can be absorbed by the plants within the soil. Now, moving towards organic content, what kind of composition it has. So, the organic content, suppose that you took 100 gram of green manure. Green manure, generally farmers used to grow sometimes alfalfa, clover, and some other different crops as a green manure, cover crop, especially for increasing the organic content, organic matter inside your soil. So, suppose consider your 100 gram green manure, maybe alfalfa, maybe clover, or maybe suppose that any kind of normal grass. So, out of this 100 gram, suppose that it comprises of around 75% of water. Your body, human body also consists more than 70% of water. So, there is plenty amount of water. Now, look, within the dry matter, remaining means 75 gram consists of water, remaining 25% can further be divided into carbon component consisting of near about 10 to 12%, oxygen component consisting of 9 to 10%, because this is the oxygen which is prevalent inside the soil. Okay, after that silicon, iron, aluminium likely to be dominant inside the soil. Hydrogen 1.5 to 2.5%, nitrogen around 1 to 2%, and various other minerals like manganese, copper, then sulfur, calcium, etc. likely to be present inside your organic content. So, organic content likely to be influence your soil properties organic content likely to be influence presence of various nutrients inside the soil. Further, it also act as a feed for various other microorganisms that present inside the soil, which may transform environmental nitrogen into nitrate or ammonia, which are better suitable form to absorb by the plant. So, this organic matter generally decomposed by microorganism या bacteria inside the soil. Different part of organic contents like sugar, starch, proteins likely to be decomposed easily, maybe within few hours, days, or maybe up to weeks. Most of these are rapidly degraded, subject to what kind of climatic environmental condition existed in particular region, means temperature, rainfall, humidity, different other weather condition that existed in that region also influences the rate of decomposition. And further, there is moderate dilution of different components of living remains like cellulose, hemicellulose related to part of cell wall. Okay, material from which cell wall of your plant likely to be developed. Generally utilized for paper pulp purpose, generally utilized for polymer, manufacturing of plastics. These degraded harder than your sugar, starch, proteins. Further, there are more dead part of your plant's dead part, more solid. Okay, difficult to weathering, difficult to erosion or movement, degradation or decomposition. These hard part, dead cells, which have developed over very long time period, likely to be degrade for longer time period. And some of a special component inside green manure, inside organic contents, especially fats, take longer time period. Okay, if you consume fat, it take very long time period to be dissolved inside your body. Similarly, it also take very long time period to be dissolved by the bacteria. Further, some sticky substances like gums. Gum is very common that is produced by various plants, especially against any kind of injury, natural injury. If you scratch the bark, outer layers of particular plant, then you will receive gum. It is natural process. Similarly, some alpine forest like pine produce this resin. Resin is also blackish substance that is utilized for purpose of varnish, for purpose of paint and various such kind of product. Okay, it is similar to your gum, etc. Lignin, very complex polymer. Okay, so they likely to be decomposed in long time period. If you provided organic matter to your soil, then this organic matter likely to be survive around on an average 3 to 5 years. Further, its survivability depend on several factors. Some of them I have highlighted. Okay. So, after 3 to 5 years, you again require addition of organic matter. Organic matter generally improve your texture of the soil, means more fine particles likely to be added well within your soil. So, it improve the texture of soil, it improve the structure of soil. Structure of soil sometimes is more important, okay, especially for plant growth, especially for bacterial growth or overall higher yield production inside your soil. So, it improve porosity, it improve air penetration inside the soil, because soil is mixture of air, water, nutrients and organic content. So, you require around 25% of air, and air penetration also secured well with addition of more organic content inside the soil. Further, when these micronutrients decompose plant material या animal cell remains into inorganic component या nutrients, then it also readily available for the plant that they can capture all such nutrients that present inside the soil. Then further, this organic content is good source for food to lot of microorganisms that sometimes remain independent, sometimes remain in symbiotic relationship with plant root. Means plant likely to be provide carbohydrates to the algae, and algae in reverse provided the better environmental growth conditions for the root likely to be very elongated, which can capture or absorb high amount of nutrition. So this was regarding organic content or organic matter. Now let's look over nutrition of plant, what kind of major nutrients we have inside the soil, and what are minor nutrients. Major nutrients essential nutrients are very much essential for normal health of the plant. If these essential nutrients are not present in adequate amount, then the plant growth not likely to be occur, not likely to be noticed well. Plant may not bear flower, fruits, means plant cannot complete entire its life cycle, different stages of growth, maybe origin, germination of seeds, maybe tillering stage, maybe maturity stage, maybe reproduction stage, or harvesting stage may not be achieved if plant lack in certain essential minerals. Now let's have a look what are these major minerals and what are these minor minerals. So essential macronutrients which are present inside the soil. This is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur. Means without them plant may not achieve all its stages. Then why we require certain other nutrients inside the soil? Generally other nutrients are not so important as macronutrient, yet they play very important role in metabolic activities. They work as a catalyst. Further, they modify. They play very important role, especially influencing in absorption of various other essential nutrients inside the plant. Okay. So, micronutrients, iron, manganese, zinc, copper, okay. All such boron, chlorine, etc., chlorine. These are micronutrients. So, when you go for soil testing, generally you need to pay less for only testing the macronutrients, and you need to pay more, especially in government laboratories, etc. The fee is very normal, around 100 rupees. So, 100 to 150 rupees maximum. You can test all macro as well as micronutrients inside your soil, and based on that you can also apply the fertilizers. Now moving towards if there is deficiency of nitrogen. If there is deficiency of nitrogen, how you can identify without going to test the soil. Further, testing may not always help. Testing may not always perfect. Why it is so? Suppose that yesterday, if the amount of nitrogen seems to be very sufficient inside your soil, but during night there was heavy rainfall, heavy shower take place, what happens? There might be leaching. Means water may run off from your field, or water may leach down inside the soil. Okay, may accumulate, move down even below the root zone. You can say even beneath your subsoil layer. Then in such condition, the topmost soil, O layer, A layer, likely to be deficient in nitrogen. So that's why how you can identify just by looking, just by observing the plant, how plant is deficient within the nitrogen. Okay. So generally this is yellowish color of leaf. So one of the identity is yellowing of leaf. You are noticing here, this is healthy leaf, healthy cotton leaf, and this leaf reflecting very green color. I hope it is also observable within the slides. Okay. So healthy leaf versus deficient leaf. Further, there is stunted growth. Okay. Stunted growth, there is necrosis around the leaf tips, means this yellowishness started to move towards the leaf from the tip towards the base. This started to develop, means first it observed around the tip, then towards base. First, this likely to be experienced within the older leaves because nitrogen is mobile, and whatever nutrients we have the mobile, then first deficiency you notice within the lower leaves. Suppose that this is the plant. Okay, this is the plant. Then within your lower leaves, you likely to be experience first deficiency symptoms, and later towards upper leaves you likely to be experience deficiency symptoms. What happens that generally old leaves store this nitrogen, and these old leaves generally provided, you can say the new leaves likely to be extract, pull this nitrogen for their own growth, because new offspring, new leaves generally consume more amount of nitrogen, and they put more effort to extract the nitrogen. So this nitrogen generally move from older leaf towards the new leaves. In case of a small deficiency, generally older leaves likely to be express the symptoms, but in case of very extreme deficiency, in case of very severe deficiency, even new leaves likely to be turned into yellowish. But first symptoms you notice old leaf, inside the old leaf. So you are noticing here, you are noticing here the green color, here is yellowish color, indicating nitrogen deficiency. Further, moving towards your phosphorus deficiency after nitrogen deficiency. Okay, so nitrogen is deficient. If nitrogen is deficient, then your plant may not grow well, plant may not bear the fruits. It also hamper photosynthesis activities of the plant, and for overall growth of the plant, your nitrogen is necessary. Similar to nitrogen, phosphorus is also mobile. The phosphorus symptoms generally purpling color of the leaf. If your plant transformed into the purple color, generally it indicates that there is deficiency of the phosphorus. Look at it. Okay, so dark green leaves. Here plant is healthy. Here plant is deficient, poor in phosphorus. So purple coloring of plant generally indicate if there is short deficiency, then purple color. If there is very strong deficiency, then they are likely to be reddish color of the leaf. So leaf may transformed into purple color to the reddish color. Okay. Poor energy transfer. This phosphorus is essential for energy transfer. Further, this phosphorus is essential for root development or overall development or growth of the plant. But similar to nitrogen here, generally purple color is started from tips towards base, especially inside older leaves. Now, you notice here in potassium deficiency, in extreme potassium deficiency, generally tip of the leaf started to die. Necrosis phenomena means death of leaves margins likely to be occur, death of leaf margins likely to be occur. This is the cotton. Okay. So within cotton, you are noticing there is huge purple or reddish color. So it is showing that this field having acute shortage of phosphorus. Now, for phosphorus, if you want to remove this deficiency, suppose that if you want to remove the deficiency of nitrogen, you apply the urea. You apply a spray, foliar spray, means liquid urea, yeah, different other fertilizers generally rich in nitrogen. Okay. But if there is deficiency of phosphorus, can you broadcast DAP, diammonium phosphate, या phosphorus rock, या phosphorus trichloride, can you spread inside the field? The answer is no. Why it is so? Because phosphorus is not very mobile. Then what is the perfect time when this phosphorus should be applied to the field? The perfect time generally at the time of sowing. At the time of sowing, this phosphorus may take little bit longer time period for weathering. It if get weathered or dissolved by certain microbacteria or by liquid or acids that present inside the soil, then it may be accessible for the plant. Further, this phosphorus is not very mobile just like the nitrogen. Then you require certain microbacteria or fungi, especially which help or live inside plant root, and that generally feed which create the environment around the plant root. So plant root likely to be elongated and can capture this phosphorus. So the perfect time for applying phosphorus lead fertilizer is at the time of sowing of the crop. Now moving towards deficiency of this phosphorus, deficiency of potassium. You notice here generally certain spots likely to be occur around tip or between veins. Means here we notice intervenal chlorosis. These veins likely to be remain green. Veins of the leaves likely to be remain quite green for longer time period, yet necrosis may occur intervenal, means inside you are noticing such purple spot. During alfalfa, if there is deficiency, you notice whitish spot. Inside banana, inside cotton, you likely to be notice this purple color or reddish color kind of spot here. Okay, so it also vary from plant to plant what kind of symptoms it reflect, but several plants reflect same kind of impact. Now, moving towards potassium deficiency. We have noticed nitrogen and phosphorus deficiency. Another major nutrients that required by the plant is phosphorus, is potassium. Now, if there is deficiency of potassium, then plant likely to be very weak. There might be lodging. Lodging means plant stem, stalk may not support the overlying weight of grains, fruit, overall weight of the plant likely to be fall over the soil. Leaf may not spread well because of deficiency of potassium. If there is deficiency, then leaf started to produce certain sticky material, then leaf move backward and move these leaves synchronize, means there is reduction in the space of foliar coverage, means green leaves of the plant may not spread well. It is like paralyzed kind of situation when some portion of body started to shrink down or not spread well. Okay, so potassium deficiency, there is distorted growth, but distorted growth is very common symptoms among all the plants if there is any macronutrient deficiency. Then wrinkle or fold backward, means these folding backward. Now necrosis here also occur around the tip of the leaves. Necrosis means generally in case of potash deficiency, the leaf margins started to die. If you are noticing that generally the outer margins here tips of the leaf tissues died, completely become dead cells, then in such condition there is deficiency of potash. Okay. Also necrosis region of leaf margins, stalk may break, lozing may take place. So this is deficiency of your potash. Then you need to add potassium rich fertilizers generally at the time of sowing. Okay, that may suits well for the plant growth. Now moving towards calcium deficiency. After nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, another important nutrient is your calcium. If there is deficiency of calcium, then plant also likely to be weak. There is distorted growth within the plant. There is newest foliage, cupping, margins distorting, resulting in hook-like structure. So, different from NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, look at calcium. Generally, in NPK, symptoms experience first within the older leaves, but in case of deficiency of this calcium, there is first symptoms experienced within the new leaves, means the topmost leaf. The newer leaves which are growing started to die first. Why it happens? Because this calcium is immobile. It is not mobile inside the plant. Means calcium deposit inside the old leaves does not move towards the new leaves. So there is death, necrosis occur first inside new leaves, then later inside the old leaves. Okay, in case of severe deficiency, old leaves also likely to be die. But you are noticing hook-like structure. You are noticing that there is shrinking down. Further, suppose that sometimes you have noticed when you purchase the tomato, then the bottom portion of the tomato generally rot. Yeah, we called it blossom and rot. Blossom and rot within the potatoes. So inside the potato, you notice there is whitish, dark circle started to develop towards bottom end. It generally reflects their deficiency of calcium. So due to deficiency of calcium, farmer may experience huge loss because they may not fetch good price in the market. Suppose that inside apple, if there is deficiency of this calcium, okay, then bitter pit started to develop. Bitter pit started to develop. If there is deficiency of calcium inside the potato, inside the tomato, then blossom and rot. If there is deficiency inside apple crop of calcium, then there is bitter pit. So you have noticed that some pit spots, certain spots likely to be developed experience, noticed over the surface of various fruits. So this is called as bitter pit, apple bitter pit. So for it, farmer need to provide adequate amount of calcium. So that was for today, and still there are lot of nutrients which need to be discussed. Okay, just like magnesium, zinc, deficiency of copper, deficiency of iron, etc., etc. So if such deficiency occur, what kind of symptoms can be experienced and what are further available solutions for it? So we will generally address this in next session. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care.